He's anxious.
I'm ready to drink. It's been that kind of week, man.
Well, Dan, it's Friday Sips Live. You can drink all you want.
I'm ready. We got 4 bottles here, and I'm going to drink from all of them.
All of them.
Oh, no, that's not true.
We're not going to drink all the whiskeys.
No.
And that's not the only 4 bottles in this garage.
That's true. That's true. I got many bottles.
Welcome, everybody.
Hey.
The Friday Sips Live. I'm Mark. That's Dan.
Hi.
We were gone last week.
We were in Moab.
But we're back. We were in Moab. We were bicycling-ish.
Bike cycling.
And doing this kind of stuff, but for bikes.
Yeah. Mark's first trip.
First trip to the desert.
Yeah.
It was outstanding. Beautiful.
It's a gorgeous place if you haven't been. Definitely worth it. If you like the off-road driving such, that's the place to be.
Good place to be.
Yeah.
We were there for different projects.
We were. So we're starting a business.
Business.
Well, I already had one, but we're expanding and teaming up. And the newest iteration, you can see our hats, and this is our T-shirt. It's called Patrol MTB. So if you're interested in mountain bikes at all, that's where it's at. We're starting a new media title with a bunch of other great projects we're doing. So we're busy. Very busy.
We are busy doing business.
yes.
Well, let's see. Business, I suppose. Commerce requires funds.
Yeah, right. We don't have that yet.
Currently, we're just spending money.
A lot of it, too. Yes.
But that, and also Slow Guy on the Fast Ride.
SlowGuyOnTheFastRide.com.
If you're more road cycling oriented.
That's me.
And then we'll pull this stuff in, the Practical Still
stuff.
podcast. I'm also working on a podcast called The Mental Health Leap about how does mental health and mental illness fit in around athletes. So it's going to be a podcast network, the videos,
Man.
the written word.
Got a lot going on.
A little bit of everything.
Yeah. So it's exciting stuff. Most importantly, though, we have hats.
We have hats. Hats.
I mean, why would you ever have a business without hats?
Yeah, let's see. We'll get them a better.
Yeah. Check out the hat.
Let's get a better. Let me see. Well, here, this will be easier.
Yeah.
All right. So then that's 3. Yep, that's 3.
Look out, coming in hot. Patrol MTB.
Yeah. Good times.
So that's why we missed you last week. It's been.
And we did miss you last week.
We did.
There's Bender. We missed Bender last week.
Hi, Bender.
Oh, look, he's been listening to the podcast.
Oh.
Hopefully if you started far back, you feel like they got better.
But if you listen to him in reverse, it's like a message from the devil, like if you play the Beatles backwards or something. Well, in honor of our trip to Utah, we have a Utah whiskey here.
We did. We brought it with us and then just didn't drink it.
We never drank it. We
Which
spent a lot of time.
Which is bizarre that we didn't drink it.
But we did spend a lot of time drinking Wild Turkey 101.
We did. We did some damage on the handle of Wild Turkey 101, and that's fine. That's fine. But I had that bottle, that High West Rendezvous, for a long time, and I bought it because I don't know if this is true or not, but I thought I read somewhere that Rendezvous was essentially or exactly Midwinter Night's Dram before they finish it in the French oak cask. And that's why I bought the bottle. I thought that'd be an interesting thing to taste. And the bottles are very similar.
Yeah.
That kind of dripping glass, old glass looking thing.
Yeah.
And I also read that it was some relatively old 6-7-year-old MGP with some very old 14 to 16-year-old Barton-produced rye.
Cool.
Which is, I believe, where the Kentucky Owl rye came from, which I really like. And so I was happy. And I had that bottle since sometime in early 2019. As I got it out to bring it to Utah, I started reading about it. It turns out 2017 was the last year it had the really old whiskey in it. Now it's got a little bit of MGP that's 4 to 6 years old and some of High West's own pot distilled whiskey that's 80% unmalted rye and 20% malted rye. We know I don't like malted rye typically. So I could have held onto this bottle for absolutely no reason.
Well,
but that also means there's no reason not to open it.
Exactly.
So that's where we're going to start, with some High West Rendezvous rye.
While I'm opening this, why don't you explain what else we got on the table here?
Yes. So I'm a big fan of very dark beers. One of those very dark beers I like is Dragon's Milk. And now I forgot the name of the actual company. New Holland. New Holland's Dragon's Milk. They actually have a whiskey. And I guess the idea is that it's made from, because I'm sure we all know, when we make whiskey, we start off by essentially making beer. And so they used that to make this whiskey. So this is a 5-year-old 95 proof bourbon. So straight bourbon made from dragon's milk. Now at the house, I bought some of the dragon's milk beers. So next Friday, we will drink some of the beers, we will drink the whiskey, we will try and figure out if we can tell if there's a similarity, and if we even like the whiskey.
Pour cam, pour cam, pour cam.
Pour cam.
Pour cam.
Okay, go.
All right, pouring. Mark already spilled all over the table, so I don't feel bad.
I did.
about
I made a complete mess with Booker's, which is a terrible shame.
it. It's a crime.
Bender, Dragon's Milk the beer or Dragon's Milk? Oh, you didn't know about the whiskey. So you like the beer too. So Bender likes the beer too.
Yeah. So I don't think I've ever had Dragon's Milk actually. So that'd be a good side-by-side little.
I like the beer. It's an
Diddly-doo.
11% beer. You know, if you're going to drink beer, it should have some oomph to it. I like it a lot.
Cool. Well, cheers. Let's start with the High West in honor of a weekend in Moab.
Weekend in Utah.
Yeah. My hands, by the way, are healed. I can use them again. They're still sore.
Dan decided to ride a bike and fall off of a bike.
It did. It was quite spectacular. And I don't worry, I landed kneecap first, so that's good. Did you get Coca-Cola across the tongue?
Yeah, or
that
cream
weird?
soda or something.
Yeah. Not bad.
No,
It's got a lot going on.
it does not have that malted rye
No.
unpleasantness that I don't like. It's very light.
It does, you get a little bit of the malted rye right at the very end of the finish. A little bit.
Not enough to. It's a very light whiskey,
Yeah.
light color whiskey.
Can you smell the malted rye in the nose, though?
A bit, yeah.
Yeah.
But I don't find it unpleasant.
But you know what? I mean, if you're comparing this to the Midwinter Night's Dram, not even the same. I mean,
It's not.
There's no. I mean, the Midwinter Night's Dram to me always screams sweet because it's got that cask.
Yeah,
finish.
those bottles will range from fairly sweet to syrupy. Mm-hmm. Which actually is why I don't buy them anymore.
Yeah, the first one we had, the one you had, was really good.
It was nice. It wasn't sweet. It had a little dry finish to it.
Yeah.
Just delicious.
Then the one I had was just
Syrupy.
almost overwhelmingly sweet. Yeah.
And I don't know if they're still using the older whiskey. They may reserve those older stocks. But this is 4 to 6 year old MGP rye, the 95.5 mash bill, and then an 80%, 20% split of unmalted malted rye distilled by High West in a pot still. I think it was 4 or 5 years old, I think they said.
Okay, and this is 92 proof, by the way.
Yeah.
Just so you all
And
know.
that's the 2019.
Hey, that's not
release
bad.
of that.
Yeah. How much was this bottle?
Now I think there's 65 or 70. I think I bought that one for less than 50 on sale somewhere that I don't really remember where.
65 or 70 is a little much, but
I wouldn't pay 65 or 70 for it. But it has got the classic MGP mintiness to it on the finish.
Yeah. That's what I was associating with kind of the malted rye. I don't know, maybe I was wrong there, but
No, I can nose a little bit of the malted rye, but I don't really taste it. It's the usual
man, I do like the nose.
vegetal. Well, we answered. I guess you read that. That's why you mentioned the price.
I didn't, but I was
David,
pressing
there's
it.
the price information.
Yeah.
I think I wouldn't buy one today.
No.
Knowing what I know, but I think they're 65 or 70.
If you see it for 50, it's a solid buy. I don't think you'll ever see it for 50.
I think so. It's a little thin.
It is, but it's got
The
quite
finish
a lot
is delicious.
It is.
That's the best part of it is the finish.
the nose is actually quite good too. That's a lot of ethanol, kind of like right up front. But if you sniff through that, it's vanilla, blast of vanilla.
Yeah, but the finish is lovely. It's got some of that mintiness and the herbalness that you get out of that MGP 95.5 rye mash bill.
Yeah.
Delicious.
Yeah.
Well, pretty good. Not delicious.
So,
Pretty
yeah,
good.
Pretty good. It's like a.
I might need a little more.
It's like a hey, how you doing of rye. I feel like not like
I'll tell you
what's
this,
going on.
we drink a lot. Primarily, when you and I are drinking rye, we're drinking Kentucky style ryes.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
the barley ryes, the Pikesvilles,
right.
and
The Pikesville's my favorite.
so this is definitely different.
Mm-hmm.
Should need a little.
No, I'm still working on mine. I want to talk about this bottle.
I love the bottles.
What's going on here? Is this recycled glass or
I
something?
think it's meant to be, very old. Glass is not actually solid.
let's see.
You know, glass will run. Oh, you're going to move it.
I'm going to do this.
Take it off of that so we don't make them nauseous when we.
Yeah. You see like the little glittery. It's like a glitter. It's a glitter pony.
It's not glitter. It's bubbles. It's bubbles in the glass.
I'm going with glitter pony.
Okay, glitter pony. Whatever.
I have a 7-year-old. It's glitter pony. David talking about Woodford Reserve, the malted mash. We have opinions.
Yeah. Well, the malted. You talking about the chocolate malted whiskey, or there's a different one I think they just released.
Okay.
Because I had the chocolate malt. What was it called? It's the Master Series.
Yeah.
It's not the Wood. It's the Master Series in the taller bottle. I bought the chocolate malted one of those, but it was malted rye, not malted barley. It was not good.
That was
terrible. In fact, I just saw some of that. I gave it to my son-in-law, and he's not drunk it either. It's still sitting on his shelf.
I had the opportunity to buy that bottle, and I was glad I was glad you bought it first, because then I didn't have to.
Yeah. Well, David, I'm not familiar enough with all the Woodford Reserve stuff to know the difference and which one's which. I try and drink it. Me and Woodford Reserve just never quite get along. It's not like any of the other Brown-Forman whiskeys, in my opinion. Although I do like their rye. I've had a couple of single barrel ryes, store picks, and the standard one. That I think their rye is quite delicious.
I just got like a little blast of port from this, like a port wine kind of taste. It's pretty good.
I'm liking this more. As it says, the finish is absolutely delicious.
It is.
I may change mine. I might buy that again if it's not at $70, but something in the 50s. I might buy that
50
again.
to 60, I'd buy that.
Definitely different.
Yeah. Side Scotch whiskey Deanston that has released finished Dragon's Milk barrel stab.
Finished in Dragon's Milk barrels. Very
that
good.
sounds yummy.
Yeah.
Deanston. Let's remember that. I would buy this. Yeah, I would definitely buy this 50 to 60. And with the if you see the Midwinter Night's Drams, I feel like they're still worth taking a shot on, as long as you're okay with the spectrum of sweet.
Yeah.
But I think I actually kind of like this better. It's not as overwhelming.
I'm liking the nose a lot
Yeah.
now too. I think that's quite delicious.
The nose is all vanilla.
Yeah. I wish it was a little more viscous on the tongue.
Yeah.
But the finish is 92 proof to have a finish that's that potent is impressive.
Where's Larry?
I don't know.
Larry, where are you, Larry? All right, moving on.
Yes, the one person that we know rides bikes.
I know, he's not here. All right.
Moving on.
Yeah, so rewind a few weeks. Earlier this month, I turned 40. We had a little birthday celebration. We've told you about this already. And Mark and my good friend Jacob, they split a bottle of the Bardstown batch of Booker's. They know I'm a Booker's dork. It was a really good birthday.
It's always nice, too, when your good friends buy you a birthday present and then drink most of it.
Drink most, yeah. So I got about like that much of it. It was great. It was very good, that much of it. But Mark has the Teresa's batch, which was your previous favorite.
Previous favorite batch.
I would say my previous favorite was the, now I'm blanking on it. The
Beaten Biscuits?
No.
Country Ham?
Country Ham.
That was a good one.
Oh, it was really good. So, but the Bardstown is unreal.
Outstanding.
So we wanted to taste them side by side with Teresa to see if it could beat Teresa's batch as your favorite.
We were going to do that a couple weeks ago, except I left
Forgot the bottle.
I left the bottle at my house.
All right, which one do you want to start with? Teresa's? That would make more sense, right?
Yes, because it will probably bounce back and forth, so let's start with the one we have more of.
All right, I'm going to take a little cleansing sip of agua.
Cleanse thy palate, cleanse thy glass.
I think we're just really determined to make you all Booker's homers the way we talk about it.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. I've never sold or traded anything on the secondary. I bought one bottle. But I think what I'm going to do is see if I can swap a Rock Hill Farms that I've for 2 to 3 bottles of Booker's.
I think that's a fine idea.
Yeah. Teresa's batch is tasty.
Captivating. Cheers.
And Teresa's batch was 2019-01. Yep. 62.95%. So $1.25.9 proof. 6 years, 3 months, and 1 day old. Now, I have come to believe firmly, and until Fred or Freddie tell me different, we know that if you age date a bottle, it has to be the age of the youngest whiskey. Mm-hmm. I'm positive they're slipping significantly older whiskey in these Booker's bottles. There's just no way.
But what's their incentive to do that?
Because it's good.
Yeah, but like at $100, I mean, they could fetch more for it if they were advertising it as older.
I don't know. I mean, remember too, when you...
Oh, you got this question from David. We've got opinions on that too. The probably one of the more extravagant things I've purchased in whiskey was I bought a case of that limestone filtered water. That I think that's what you're referring to. When we first got it, my wife and I sat down. I blind poured her. I think it was 3 different whiskeys, and so we did tap water, and I was very precise. I had exactly an ounce of whiskey. And I forget how much water, but I had measured the exact amount. So it's the same whiskey, same amounts. We did tap water, the filtered water out of the refrigerator, and the limestone water. Dog water, and toilet water.
No, just those 2. and blind, my wife chose the limestone bottled water that I got, which is so expensive. It's far more expensive than the whiskey. So that's what we thought that, and then I had her do the same thing for me, and I chose that whiskey, that water.
Yeah.
So completely blind, both of us chose that stuff, and we drank it for years. I mean,
that's high quality.
I bought plenty of it. We drank it, and I don't know. I've ran out of it maybe, I think at the last whiskey night, so a month ago.
Yeah.
I finally ran out of all of it I bought, and I've been struggling. I think I'm going to buy some more.
Better you than me.
Well, you don't put water in your whiskey.
Occasionally I do. All right, so baseline, back to our Booker's comparison. Teresa's batch, excellent, but definitely this feels hotter to me than the Bardstown.
That feels like love.
And this is this is 62.95%.
Let's go back to proofs.
Well, I can't, it's 62.75%, so it's basically the same proof.
Yeah. God, that's good.
It is good, but I think...
What is that? There's like a, I'm not even good at teasing out all those funky, like burnt shoe polish. But there's just a...
I went right down the wrong pipe. It's good.
That's no good now. When whiskey geeks are drinking whiskey, you can't choke on it. That's kind of hack.
I was going to say, my stupid brain wanted to talk while I was tasting. To me, this is spicier, like cinnamony, more cinnamony than this. And I'm just going off memory.
I keep thinking about, it's not junk food. I love like carnival food.
So like the carnival peanuts,
carnival peanuts,
circus peanuts,
going to Jazz Fest in New Orleans and getting pork skins and the great big cauldron that they're cooking and jerk chicken. There's some kind of
licking cows,
open air funkiness to this that's just delicious.
Yeah, it's very much like a summer night at the fair.
God, it's so good.
But man, it is definitely spicier. And you know what I'm actually getting is more of the Jim Beam influence in this. Like you get that typical Jim Beam finish.
Yeah, and generally Booker's it's so thick and viscous and deep that you almost don't notice that. But this one, you're right. I get that peanutty funkiness.
Yeah. Whereas I don't think, if memory serves me, this one doesn't have that. We're going to find out.
God, that's good. We need to get to a point where every year we can buy a case of each release.
Yeah.
And a couple of bottles to drink, and then keep those.
I'm in. Before we end this, I should show them my Booker's cabinet. It's ridiculous.
I wish I could put a little Booker's Homer thing just flashed over the top.
Bookers,
I mean, I like Booker's, but I don't dream about it and sleep with bottles like Dan does.
Just give me a year. I really do.
I think I bought my first bottle of Booker's in 2012, so not that long ago.
I kind of hate to say it, but I do feel like Booker's is the next one that's going to explode and be like Pappy, like can't get in.
Well, I mean, if you think about it, so maybe not these bottles, but any of the 25th and 30th anniversary releases, the Booker's Rye is just
forget it.
Forget about it. It's crazy.
I've never even been in the same room as one of those. Yeah.
No.
All right.
No.
All right, a little sip, and then we're going to try. So, all right, so the Bardstown batch, we had a little bit of like, are we just having birthday party?
Yeah, because there was guitars and pizza and food.
Good times.
Good times, definitely. But I mean, but I don't know, because we opened it pretty much as soon as we got there. None of that had really even started happening.
That's true. And I've had some since, and I can confirm it's damn good. But I want to taste it next to this because I do think it is a different taste altogether. You're going to lose your... Oh, you lost it.
Oh, it's okay.
They're not talking to us anyway. Silent treatment.
They did.
This was, like I said, my favorite is the country ham.
I'm going to try and not pour it all over the table like I did the other one.
Yeah, we don't have as much of this, so. My favorite was the country ham. And I think this is more akin to the country ham. It's a little bit sweeter, like, not sweeter, but like a softer spice, I would say. Cheers.
Softer spice. Which one of the Spice Girls was that?
Ginger.
Softer spice.
Softer spice. The cute one. Different nose.
Completely different.
But again, like way softer, right? Like the whole character of it.
More vegetal. It's, dare I say, near floral.
Yeah. Very springtime.
Yeah.
It's definitely not the carnival peanuts feel. That is heads and tails better.
That is so good. It's hotter to me, though.
Really, this was hotter than me. This is everything.
So good.
This is, man, this is a ballad.
I'm not happy. I wouldn't be unhappy with either, but holy smoke, is that good.
This is Every Rose Has Its Thorn. This is cherry pie.
But that's all my music.
Yeah. Well, I'm trying to equate it for you. Wow. This is phenomenal.
That's really good.
This is like orchestrated, like this is...
That's enough of the...
I just can't. My mind is...
I don't even want to put any more on top of it.
I don't even want to talk to you people anymore. I'm just going to... I'm going to enjoy this by myself.
That is delicious. I'm definitely going to try and trade that Rock Hill Farms for some Bardstown batch Bookers.
What can you attribute that to? I mean, the differences between this. I mean,
I don't know. I don't know if they still do this, but in the early Booker, after Booker died, because I think he pretty much picked the Booker's batches. After that, they did a round table of sorts. They bring in, famous, like Fred Minnick got to go be on that. Peggy No Stevens was on some of those. They'd sit around and they'd pick those. And I think there's a team at Beam that narrow the barrels down for a release and then bring a few different combinations in. I don't know if they still do that, but it is a select group of people that get to pick that. And I really don't know. I can't imagine. I don't have enough experience to know how much difference can be made in different parts of the warehouse, because they've got plenty of options to pull. They do pull all the Bookers from generally the same places.
David, it's increasingly difficult to buy, and if you see it for $100 or less, it's a buy all day.
Yeah, and it's crept up to where I think the default price is $120.
Yeah,
but that's what I keep coming back to, though. They've got a limited number of levers to pull. Now, Jim Beam's got a lot, but the Booker's barrels come from a particular, I don't remember, those little cards that come in the box.
Yeah.
It tells you where it comes from.
I've got it somewhere.
It tells you the percentage of each of the batches. And even though it's small batch, it's still a lot of barrels. There's no definition of small batch. But that's why I keep thinking there's just no way.
Yeah, something's in there.
There's only 6 or 7 year old. There's another 9 or 10 year old few barrels in there. I'm convinced. Even though Bardstown batch does have a fresher feel. It doesn't feel as old to me as, and what's the difference in age? Because it doesn't feel as old to me. 6 years, 5 months.
6 years, 3 months.
Yeah, I mean, they're essentially the same age on the label, which is just the youngest whiskey. But Teresa's batch feels older to me than Bardstown batch does.
Well, it's stunning to me because what we're talking about is a little bit of alchemy, but we've talked about the shiny barrel, which is probably our least favorite batch.
Least favorite, for sure.
And still amazing, right? So there's got to be a secret to this. I don't see the incentive of them putting super old whiskey in here, though, and selling it for $100.
Well, but look.
Or it used to be 60, right? Like
54, 56, I think.
So maybe now they're dumping that older stuff in there.
Well, but here's the thing. We go back 10 years. Whiskey's starting to go up in popularity. Age statements start disappearing. It gives them more flexibility. Yeah. All of a sudden, 2.5 years ago, age statements start popping back up. And not piddly age statements, 8, 9, 10, 12, 15-year-old. They panicked. They held some whiskey. There is a dearth of old whiskey out there. So I think they've got plenty of whiskey. I mean, they've got a pretty much a standard release of a 12-year-old now.
But look what they're doing with the Booker's Rye. I mean, they could fetch several $100 for this.
Sure. Well, they do now for the 25th and the 30th anniversary Booker's Bourbon. That stuff brings $900 to $3,000 depending.
And I think it's telling that you're starting to see this less on the shelves now.
Oh yeah, well, everybody's hiding this whiskey. In fact, I got your birthday bottle because of the speakeasy club I'm in a store where this store distributes their allocated whiskey through a system of good, loyal customers. And while I was there picking up, I don't remember what I was picking up. I asked Max at Hazel, I said, hey man, my buddy Dan's birthday's coming up, looking for a bottle. We hashed a few things out, and I went, really, he's just a Booker's homer. And he goes, well, I can hook you up.
Bookers,
and that's where I got the Bardstown batch. Yeah. But they're keeping those bottles. You will rarely
see this on the shelf anymore.
And if you do, it's in a glass shelf locked.
I found my last bottle of Booker's, I found it just sitting on the shelf in Connecticut. $100.
Oh, I mean in this state.
Yeah, in this state, forget it.
We remember what happened. Which batch was that I found in Alabama and did not?
Oh, yeah.
I did not ship a bunch of those bottles back here.
Oh, what was that? That was the
they were good.
Tag Along.
Tag Along. It was a tasty one.
That was a good one too. Yeah. Do you guys? I'm curious. Those of you listening, do you guys have any Bookers on the shelf? Have you opened it? I want to hear what your opinion is.
Bender, what's it like in Texas with Bookers? Now, probably David's not because he's asking us if it's hard to find.
Yeah.
Maybe it's because David, you never actually see it anywhere.
And Bender, I'm going to be in Austin in a few weeks. I mean, if it's on the shelf, I'm buying all of it. I just want you to know. Yeah. So let me know what the situation is there. This is phenomenal. And in fact, if you guys see the Bardstown batch and it's even a little above 100, I would probably spring for it.
I'd buy that up to 150.
I would buy up to 135.
15.
All right, 150, because I don't want to be a cheapskate. Hey, I paid for the hats, and those are not cheap.
Bender doesn't. These hats are. Each one of these hats is a decent bottle of whiskey.
It is. It really is. Yeah, you could buy a lot of 101 for these hats.
Bender doesn't see them.
You don't see them?
Hard to see.
That's unfortunate.
Bender wild turkey hats?
Well, I know, right? Bender, what's the... Yeah,
not in Maryland either.
Well, you're close enough to Connecticut. Hop in the car. It's only like 9 hours. Go get. We seem to be everywhere in Connecticut.
It was all over the shelf in Alabama that particular time.
That's
true. There was 4 bottles when I walked in.
What's your rare bottle that you see a lot that everybody's clamoring for, but it seems to be common in your area? I feel like there's one of those in every state, right?
Yeah.
What do you guys see in your area that everybody's clamoring for, but you can find pretty much just going into any shop?
Just keep talking. That's fine.
I know. Just pour more of that, please. Well, that's like it goes back to that Castle and Key thing, right? Like that was the talk of social media, and I just walked into a shop and it was there, and I was like, I don't even know what this is.
It also wasn't very good.
I went back. I put it. All right, so I put it in my box, the giveaway box. It's still over there. It's right there. And I did give away 1 bottle so far.
Poor bastard.
So I gave away the Journeyman to a guy I like, because the Journeyman was the best of all the ones I did.
Well, some people like that.
Yeah.
Some people like trash.
And it turns out wow, ouch. Turns out his dad is like working with that company. So shut your mouth. But anyway,
we have enough against us. I probably shouldn't piss off Stoley Group.
We're
largest
narrowing
spirits
this
conglomerate in the plane, and I probably shouldn't.
Yeah.
Not that they're paying attention.
I know.
You guys won't tell them.
We're the idiots that are pissing everybody off if they knew that we were talking about them.
Yeah, no idea.
Anyway, I forgot what I was saying. Oh, the Castle and Key. I took it out of the box. Mm-hmm. The giveaway box, because I tasted it again, and it's got this. If you don't drink this stuff first, like which is what we idiots were doing, it's got this like bready, interesting note to it that I'm still trying to figure out. So I took it out again. We'll do another video on this, but the Castle and Key, it's got something going on that I want to figure out.
Bender's talking about the way they distribute on a point system there.
Yeah.
And you don't have 10 grand to spend. When I first moved to this area, I found Hazel's in Boulder, Colorado, and I would walk in every Sunday and find Max, the whiskey guy, and introduce myself over and over again for weeks. And eventually, he finally came to me and he goes, look, man, I understand you're trying to, and you're buying whiskey, and we appreciate it. He goes, but we distribute that to our top 100 customers, and we're in Boulder, Colorado.
Yeah.
Our least expensive top 100 customers spending $1,800, $2,000 a weekend in our store, you're never going to make it.
Not gonna make it.
So,
David, Eagle Rare has been sitting on shelves here. I've been seeing.
I haven't seen any of it in a while.
I come across it occasionally.
If I didn't have, at this point I've forgotten, 6 or 8.
I've got 2.
I got a store pick and 6 or 8 regulars.
Yeah.
I still, anything under 35, I just keep buying.
I've got a one-of-a-kind Eagle Rare.
I know it's got our name on
It does. It has the practical.
The practical still etched on it.
$5,000. It could be yours.
We're definitely whores.
Yeah.
And we're not terribly expensive whores.
No, not at all. Yeah, the Bookers, I would say if you see it for, first, the Bardstown batch, I would say if you see it for 150, you buy it. Everything else, $100. If you see it on the shelf for $100, grab it. It's just, we talk a lot about price, but like I bought my first Bookers at $60. And I was like, why is not everybody not buying this? Now everybody's buying it.
Yeah, and they did this thing where I think 55 or 60 was retail forever and a day on Bookers. And then they decided they were going to up retail to 100.
Yeah.
There was this massive backlash, and they backed off. And then they went in stages, and now I think the official retail's back to 100.
How kind are you feeling? Because Jacob...
Would I drink all that if you poured it for me?
Yeah.
Oh, wait, you want to save it for Jacob?
Well, I was going to say...
I definitely save it for Jacob.
Yeah, because look, we got like this much...
Our friend Jacob pulled out, how many guitars he's got?
Put it this way, we could buy about 100 bottles of this.
Lots of bottles of Bookers for one of those guitars. But he pulled out 4 or 5 of the, there was the Martin acoustic, the Telecaster that once I put in my hands I could not let go of, those Collins. 2 of those.
Those are expensive
guitars. He just let 2 drunk morons bang on them for hours. If you're talking about saving that for Jacob, save it for Jacob.
He was drunk enough that we sounded good. So.
Oh, sure.
Jacob.
Jacob, that's Jacob.
This is Jacob.
We'll save that.
Put it. David, you can't even get regular Buffalo Trace? Oh, my God.
You know what's funny is the only Buffalo Trace I see here are store picks.
If you'll excuse me.
I have not seen a standard Buffalo Trace on a shelf in forever.
I have.
I haven't. And that one you're holding is not a standard Buffalo Trace.
No, this is a store pick, but I see them a lot, and there's like little shops.
But before we go, David, thank you very much, because I was wondering, what else will we drink?
Here we are.
And there it is.
Yeah. Bender, Elijah Craig.
So I'm kind of over the 18. Any old. We've been talking about this a lot lately. Old Heaven Hill bourbon, it just doesn't do me right. We love the Elijah Craig 18. We opened it.
Yeah.
Master's Keep 1. I have one at the house. Haven't opened it yet.
Weller Full Proof pass.
I had Weller Full Proof. It's tasty, but it was also that night I got, for the first time since the 1990s, I got so fucked up that it took me.
I was there.
Days to recover.
Which Stag Junior? Because those do differ. I think the 13 was the sweet spot, right? Or was
12.
It 12?
12 is what everybody's after.
Yeah.
12 they call the George T. Stag Killer nonsense. It's nowhere near
Not even close.
good.
We did a side-by-side. You can actually look at it on our channel.
Go to YouTube channel, search Stag. You'll find our side-by-side on that. Dan had both. We drank all yours.
Well, and I had probably the best George T. Stag recently, which was the 2020.
2020 was, it's so good.
Yeah.
Oh, but what do we know? We've only ever had 2 of them.
That's true.
Yours was garbage. Well, it was not a well regarded.
I mean, of that list that you said, the Colonel Taylor Singer Billows are good, but I would take the 2 Bookers all day long.
I don't know now. Now look, there's a Wild Turkey Master's Keep in there.
Oh, the Master's Keep.
We know what a Homer.
Masters, that would be a tough call. Master's Keep, I guess it would depend on what batch of Bookers, but like, if it was 2 of the, it's a tough call.
I guess we can find out.
Right.
We have plenty of Bookers and we have a Master's Keep 1.
Yeah.
But the Master's Keep 1, the shtick on that is it's some well-aged Wild Turkey, but then they do a toasted barrel finish, which is all the rage now, and so poorly done most of the time. I would like to see
batch 15 on the Stag.
How well?
Is that batch 15 on the Stag Junior? I haven't had that.
I haven't had 15. I've got a 13 at the house.
Oh, no, we did have the 15.
We did have 15, didn't we? Because you bought it at Casey's.
That's right. So we did the 15 next to the 2020 Stag.
We can't be expected to remember what we did, but we'll check. But it's on the channel. It's on the YouTube where you are now. But I think it was 15. It was 15 in the 2020 George T. Stag that we did together.
And as a disclaimer, I mean, the 15 was
delicious,
phenomenal, but it just didn't even pale. It paled in comparison to the actual George T.
Not even close.
Here, are any of these cameras long enough that I could go to the Booker's Homer cabinet?
Well, I usually put you on the 4.
All right.
Oh, you want to take it over
cabinet.
there? Yeah. Take that one.
All
right, you can reach 2.
We're gonna go on the
get over
tour.
there first before I don't make people.
Wait, this one?
I don't want to make people car sick.
This is not even close to long enough.
Oh.
Yeah. All right. We can't do it.
Turn your camera down.
Oh, yeah, there we go. All right, here. You guys ready to go on a tour?
Yep.
All right, we're going on a tour.
I'm sorry to make you nauseous because you're drinking.
I hope you're not drinking as much as
You're drinking and we're moving a camera around.
All right, so here's the dummy Booker's Homer. Oh, that's only half of them. There's the other. Here, let's see if we can get you a little brighter here. Oh, wrong direction. Yep, so we've got, and there's one hiding behind the E.H. Taylor, and there's one hiding behind that Booker. So I have a lot of Bookers. And I really do feel like, and let's see, so we've got, that's the Strangers batch. Oh, no Strangers batch. So I've got them going back to 2018. And, you know, some of these I bought for $60, some of them I bought for over 100. I think what we're coming down to is the notion that these just have been so consistently good that there's really no reason not to buy them until they get absurd. And they're approaching that. So to my mind, if right now you see it on the shelf, know that it's only going to go up in price, as far as I can tell.
Yes, Booker's is only going to be more expensive.
Yeah. So we're cracking David up here. That's that's a good sign. All right, I'm gonna have a little Buffalo Trace.
We're cracking us up too.
We crack ourselves up all the time.
Do I not get any Buffalo Trace?
I thought you just poured some.
No, I was drinking the rest of the Booker's.
Oh, sorry.
That's why I didn't say a lot while you were over there. I was having moments.
Yeah. Well, you never. I'm always good for a few words.
And this is a Hazel's bottle.
It is.
Yeah.
And my wife really likes this one. I like this one, but I don't love it. Sweet. Like compared.
Oh, we made Bender ill walking.
Oh.
Sorry, Bender.
But you got to get one.
I didn't mean to do that. I was waiting with my finger over the camera button, and then I've been drinking, so I pressed it prematurely. I prematurely buttoned.
It's a problem drinking this after this because I can't really taste it.
I can't smell anything.
What are you guys tasting while we're watching this, by the way? Ryan, what are you tasting?
Hey, Ryan, new person. Hey, Ryan. Haven't tried Booker's.
Oh, man.
Oh,
so well, you weren't here.
If we don't make you pick up a bottle of Booker's, nobody will.
Ryan, the top choice. If you,
going back to 2012, the #1 bottle.
No, 2021.
Well, I'm go back to 2012 with Booker's. My first bottle was 2012 something.
All right.
I don't remember.
Ryan's hanging on.
I have a picture of it.
Bardstown batch. This is our favorite. We just talked about this. Go back and watch the rest of the episode. We are super duper.
Really, to answer Ryan's question, what we would say is Shiny Barrel is the only questionable Booker's batch either of us have ever had going back almost 10 years.
And questionable's being harsh.
It's still pretty good.
Yeah.
It's just, it needs a little splash of water in it to cool it off a bit.
So Ryan, Bardstown batch has blown us both away. Before this one, Mark's favorite was
Teresa's batch.
Teresa's batch. Mine was Country Ham.
Tag Along was fabulous.
It was quite good.
Although I bought it in Alabama and drank most of it in New Orleans. Everything's good in New Orleans.
He was like sending me photos of it and like rubbing it in my
flipping
face.
You off.
Yeah, literally flipping me. I thought we were friends, man.
We're better than friends. That's why I was flipping you off.
All right.
Okay, now I can smell it. It took a few minutes.
Yeah. I mean, this doesn't smell like much now because we've been drinking all of this. This is 90 proof.
It's good though.
It is good.
And this is just young Stag.
Yeah.
It's the same mash bill.
This is entry-level Stag.
Entry-level Stag. It's ridiculous that you can't walk into any liquor store in the country and buy that, but you can.
It should be.
And honestly, the only time in the last year and a half, the only time I see that on a shelf is a store pick.
And we paid, what, $30 for this?
$25.
Don't pay more than $35 for this.
30. I wouldn't pay more than 30.
It's just, it's good, but it's not worth any more than that.
Nope.
There's so many other, I mean, again, and going back to our baseline bottle, right? Like if you're going to spend more than $35 on this, just go buy Wild Turkey 101.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it tastes different. So David's Larceny Barrel Proof. I've only had the very first edition of Larceny Barrel Proof. I bought 2. I still have one of them. I loved it. I don't remember.
We had one together, didn't we?
I don't remember.
We're going to go with yes.
Yes.
The answer is yes.
The answer is yes.
I thought the Larceny was pretty good.
I love Larceny, but if you like weeded bourbon, it's hard to go wrong with Larceny Barrel Proof. And that's Larceny and Weller share a line because it's the old Fitzgerald line back to Pappy that is. But tasty stuff.
I want to go kind of back to the original here because we've been through some good bottles. By the way, Ryan, you joined us late. We're not sipping this. We're going to sip it next week, so you better be here. But
with the beer.
With the beer.
Yeah, we're going to drink some. We're going to drink some Dragon's Milk beer. Drink some Dragon's Milk whiskey.
Dragon's Milk Origin. But we did drink 2 Bookers. I want to go back to the High West because I feel like of all the things we drank tonight or today, it's still daytime. We are day drinkers. This was the most interesting because we knew the Booker's was going to be good. Oh, we're coming up on like 48 minutes.
Yeah.
We'll wrap it up soon.
Day drinkers.
Yeah, this will be our farewell drink. This was surprisingly interesting, and I think this speaks to the notion that you can still get a good bottle that has a lot of complexity, that's not high proof, and that is not super expensive.
And is readily available.
Yeah. So here, I'm going to make you pour that so I can drink mine. And man, just blast of vanilla on that nose. It's so good. And Ryan, you joined us late. This was in honor of our trip to Utah this weekend, where Mark experienced the Moab Desert for the first time.
Yes.
And I fell down and hurt myself. So.
Man.
Yeah.
Different.
It is.
Don't downplay your environment.
It helps.
It's one of the reasons I don't tend to spend a lot of money in bars on whiskey because of all the things that are going on. Here we're sitting in a very familiar environment, but we drank 1, 2,
5, 4
multiple whiskeys. And when I go back to this, it's much more lively in the nose.
There's just a lot going on here.
Oh, I want to share this with you. My daughter has a master's degree in, I forget exactly, it's very complicated.
Smart things.
And I was talking with her recently because she doesn't care for alcohol at all, but she likes to smell things, which makes sense because I'm a smeller.
Yeah.
She's a smeller. And so I made a margarita for my wife, which I make very top shelf. Mm-hmm. Very nice tequila, dry carousel, lime juice, agave. She smells every stage. But we were talking about that, and I said, well, what you want to do when you sniff a whiskey is keep your mouth open. And she said, well, that's impossible. You can't inhale with your mouth open through your nose. Here's what you do. I disagree, by the way. I think that it definitely makes a difference with your mouth open. But she said what you want to do for the actual science of the olfactory sense is 3 brief, fast sniffs, quick break, then a deep. No. So
all right, let's do that.
So let's try that.
Science. Your daughter's onto something.
I think so.
Wait, so 3 quick sniffs and then a sniff or a sip?
It was a sniff, but I was drinking it.
Yeah. He sniffed through his lips. That's fine.
So let me try. But I tried it when she told me, and it made a difference.
That's true. But to me, it's like mild vanilla, big vanilla.
Yeah, but I think the idea is you're prepping the olfactory senses. And I do know that what I will coach new people in is, especially with high proof spirits, take a tiny little sip, just enough to coat the tongue, roll it around, swallow that, wait just maybe 30 seconds, and then take your sip.
Yeah.
Prep the palate.
Yeah.
I think that's where her advice comes in. Mm-hmm. It makes a difference.
Don't ever go to a party with me. I'll just be the guy with his nose in a glass like this. I got a big schnoz, man. Like this is like the biggest part of it for me.
These are tiny glasses.
They are. Anyway, this is quite good. This is a pleasant surprise.
Oh,
I would say.
We do, yes. We do. David loves that we default to Wild Turkey. I think everybody needs a baseline.
We do.
Whiskey, and I got that idea. I didn't make that idea, but I got it from Fred Minnick. Yeah. His baseline whiskey is Evan Williams Black. It's 86 proof. and he calls it an 86-point whiskey too. If he ever struggles with trying to rate a whiskey, he'll go back to Evan Williams Black as a baseline. We do that with Wild Turkey 101. A little bit different reason. We don't have to rate whiskeys for a living, but if we've paid $60 for something and it's not better than Wild Turkey 101, why are we paying $60 for it?
If you see us bust out the Wild Turkey, it's because we have questions.
We have questions. Yeah, we're trying to figure out. We're trying to figure out if we're a little drunk, or if our opinion's valid.
And that's telling that we didn't bust out the Wild Turkey today, because I think these
did not feel the need.
Yeah, these were all pretty clearly.
The Buffalo Trace is delicious.
It is.
I really. It's delicious. It should never be allocated. It should never be hidden.
No. We should have started with this too, because it's the mildest of all.
Well, but we didn't know until we were prompted to do so.
We're babbling. We should wrap this up.
This is fun. So remember, if you like bicycles, please check out slowguyonthefastride.com. Soon we will launch Patrol MTB.com. So if you're a mountain biker, that's going to be important.
Go to Instagram. You can find us there.
We'll find us on Instagram, Patrol MTB. Lots of video content, very entertaining editors making videos for us. Well, and other people too. You get enough of us. Yeah. We got friends. Dan has good friends. It's kind of funny. We have friends that are willing to help us get these things started. It's amazing. Yeah. So check that out if you like bicycles at all. And if you don't like bicycles, remember that anytime we're doing anything, at some point we're drinking whiskey. That's why we're all here. We're going to finish this up, and I will go home in a few hours when all this is worn off.
We'll be sitting in the backyard for a while.
Hey, Ryan, thanks for joining us.
Yeah.
Tell your friends it's good to have new folks.
Yeah.
David and Bender.
Good to see you as always.
Good to see you. Don't give Larry too much crap for not showing up.
Give him lots of crap.
He's a good guy.
Cheers.
Cheers.